DreAllDay.com.
Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. I don't know about y'all. I can't speak for nobody but myself, but I'm an irrational individual. I'm an unrealistic guy. I don't like thinking about things in a practical, realistic, plausible, how can that work type of sense. I don't really think like that. And that's really been, for me, the main factor in damn near everything I've done, is that I don't look at things like, does this make sense? Is it reasonable? Is it realistic for this to actually happen? Because if I had looked at things like that, where would I be right now? I would be, maybe I still make videos, but maybe I still have a podcast. Maybe I would play ball, but it wouldn't have happened as quickly. I would have came in like after everybody else came in. I would have played ball after, somebody put the information out there. Because when I started, wasn't no information out there. I would have, maybe started a podcast after I seen everybody else had a podcast. Like nowadays, everybody got one. Or wrote a book after I seen everybody writing book. I would have did things, but I would have did it like catching a wave, like after everybody else started doing it. And who knows if the opportunity still would have been there, because who would have noticed me if I jumped in a pool when the pool is already 100 people in the pool? You know what I'm saying? As opposed to being the first person to jump in, or even better than that, being the person who built the shit, built the fucking pool. And for me, everything, this is just the way that I think. Like, I'm always looking at what's the possibilities, not is it realistic. But how can I, because a lot of people like to look at things like, all right, this is an idea is presented to them, or they think of some idea, and then they say to themselves, okay, well, how can I make this work? How does this make sense? Can I afford this right here? If I do this and this, does it make sense that this thing is actually going to happen? What's the chances of success if I was to take this action and this action right here? The thing is, people, like, as fast as shit moves in the world these days, and as quickly as opportunity comes and goes, whether that's an opportunity, it comes and goes because it's available on the outside and then it's gone, or is available for you and then it's gone simply because maybe you run out of time, or you run out of talent, or you just don't have that excitement anymore because you didn't act on it in the moment that you got the idea. As quickly as that shit changes, and as quickly as shit comes and goes, if the only time you're going to do something is when you got the idea, or you feel like, not when you got the idea, but the only time you're going to do something is when you can piece together in your mind how it makes sense and you can reasonably see yourself achieving it. Listen, first of all, you ain't going to achieve shit that's worth talking about, because if you can see it in your mind, every step of it making sense, then that means it probably already exists. That means a bunch of people already probably did it. So, who gives a fuck if you do it? And on top of that, where's the excitement in that? Where's the fun in that? Like, again, this is just the way that I think. It's my video, so I'm sure you understand that. I don't want to do something that the blueprint's already been laid, a bunch of people already fucking did it, then what the fuck am I doing it for? Like, what do I gain from doing something that a bunch of people have already done? Or from following a blueprint that's already been laid out and a million people that already followed it and achieved from it? Listen, there's a time and place for that. I'm not saying never. There's a time and place for that. Like, I'm in a car right now. Somebody learned how to drive a car and operate the shit the right way and follow the rules. And yeah, I did that to get from point A to point B. And in some areas of life, it makes sense. But in the areas that's most important to me, like the big things, like the things that I want to be, like the things that people remember about me in the long run, it can't just be, what's the most practical, reasonable, logical thing. Because, again, it ain't no fun. What do you get if that's all you do is the things that's practical, reasonable, and logical? At some point, you got to take what some people would consider a risk, or take a chance, or bet on yourself, or whatever, phrases people like to use. You understand what I'm saying? You got to be willing to step into something that you don't quite know how it's going to work out, or if it's going to work out, or there are going to be times you looking at the situation like, damn, how the fuck am I going to figure this out? Like, what am I going to do now that I'm in this space right here? If you're not willing to step into that, then you're probably never going to achieve anything that's worth talking about. You ain't going to go anywhere that's worth seeing. And are you even living a life that's worth living? What are you going to bring to the table, bring to the game, bring to life that wasn't there before you? If you're not doing that, I mean, what's your purpose? What's the point? I mean, you just want to be another face in the crowd. You just want to be a foot soldier out here. Like, you know, those movies, the action movies where there's one like hero and he gets into a fight, like 10 people come to kill him and he beats them all up at the same time. And all those 10 people that he beats up, we don't know their faces, we don't know their names, we don't know nothing about them. They just a foot soldier. Like, you like an extra. I mean, in a movie, do you want to be an extra, or do you want to be the person in the starring role? I mean, as simple as that. And it's your movie. I mean, we're not talking about getting in somebody else's movie. We're talking about your movie. What role you want to play? Work on your game, Dre all day.